everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today we are going to talk about things that are killing your reselling businesses. And so these are things that you should stop doing immediately if you are already doing them. So if this is something that is interesting for you, definitely keep watching and make sure that you like this video so I know that you like this kind of content. And also make sure that you're subscribed because I would love to have you stick around for more reselling content going forward. But without further ado, let's get right into today's video. So the first thing that you should stop doing on Poshmark is to stop not keeping up with the trends. Stop, only buying the same brands and stop only buying things that you know already sell for you. I did this for a long time. Whenever I would go to the thrift stores or anything like that, I would only pick up the same brands that, I knew would sell. And I was kind of stuck on those certain brands. And it got to a point where I was realizing that those just weren't selling for me. And so it was actually better for me to expand and get different brands, get maybe things that are trending, maybe different styles, and always kind of expand your horizons and try different brands. And I started doing this when I started going to the bins and when I started getting more inventory in bulk from other sources. And I found that actually really helped me get more sales because I had way more brands and way more different types of items for people to choose from. So stop only getting what you're comfortable with and stop getting things just because they sold for you 5 years ago, because they're probably not going to sell the same way that they were that, long ago. So a good example of this is I used to only pick up certain brands, and I'm realizing over time that those certain brands may not be the best brands for me to be selling anymore. And two of those are actually Lululemon and Athleta. I used to swear by picking up both of these, but I just find that they don't sell like they used to for me, so I don't pick them up as much now. Some people still have a lot of luck, but I really feel like I can't sell them super high, so I don't really pick them up unless they're really, really cheap. But it's so important to make sure that you are, trying to find new brands, trying to find different things that you didn't already buy, and maybe you'll actually have better luck selling those things, and you won't have items sitting as long. Okay, so the next thing that is killing your reselling business is having really bad lighting in your photos. I've actually noticed several times in the past when I would list items, I probably didn't really have the greatest photos. My lighting was dark. I would take them at night because that was the time that I had to take photos. So I would just take them at night. And I actually didn't realize that was actually really hurting my reselling business, because every time that somebody would buy something, I would get a case opened and they would be like, I thought it was a different color, the lighting, was off or something like that. So I realized that it's so important to make sure that you have good lighting and make sure that the color is accurately represented on the item, because you don't want someone to open a case on you saying that the color wasn't accurate. It's so important to have good lighting, whether you have a good light that shines on your items or you use natural daylight, either one works. But I highly recommend making sure that the item looks as true to color as possible, or if it doesn't look as true to color as possible, make sure you describe that in the listing. Make sure that you accurately say what the color is supposed to be in the best way that you possibly can, and this will go a long way. I've seen so many listings where the color was really off or it was very dark and you couldn't really tell what you were going to buy, and I feel like that's just not what people want. They want things that are very clear and professionally lit, and or just, with natural daylight. Natural daylight goes such a long way. So you don't need to spend a lot of money on a professional light or anything like that. Natural daylight is key. The next thing that you should stop doing on Poshmark or on any other reselling platform is having weird backgrounds, having patterned backgrounds, having noisy backgrounds, all of that. You want to just have white backgrounds as much as possible. I see a lot of people that try to pick certain colors to be their backgrounds so their closet kind of stands out. But in the end, Google gives priority to listings that have white backgrounds, so I cannot stress enough how important it is to do this. And I only really recommend making the cover photo, have that white background, because it could kind of get tedious to white out the background of every single photo, and I don't really think that's important. I think it's just really important to make sure that cover photo has a clear white background to it, and it will go such a long way. I actually came across this closet the other day, which is kind of what inspired this video, and I just saw it had such a noisy, loud background. It was like a pattern, and it just felt very overwhelming, and I kept scrolling through all their listings, and every single listing had this same crazy background. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there saying, make sure that those backgrounds are not so noisy, because it's very distracting to sellers or to buyers, and I just feel like it doesn't make people want to buy items when your background is extremely noisy and loud and distracting. The next thing that is killing your reselling business is not taking advantage of those tools out there. So a tool that I swear by and love is Posture VA for my sharing and my sending offers and my relisting and delisting. But that is just kind of like my VA that I love and use. But if you're on multiple platforms and you're trying to get your items to sell more, a great tool to use is something that will cross-list your items and also share your items. So for me, since I'm only on Poshmark, I don't really need a cross-listing tool. That's not really going to help me in many, ways. But I do find that having a VA is so good, and I swear by it. It really saves me so much time, and it also makes things really easy for me because I don't have to do a lot of those tedious tasks anymore. So I know a lot of you are part of my Poshmark audience, and so this tip will go such a long way, but not having to share all day is just like such a great feeling. And so when I got my VA and I just had it share for me all day while I was out, and then I came home and I actually realized I was making some sales, it's such a great feeling. And to have it relist and delist for me and have it do all those other tasks that I don't want to be doing just makes me feel so much better, and I can get so much more done. And again, if you are on multiple platforms, it can help so much to have a cross-listing tool because you don't want to be listing to every single platform. That will kill so much time, and it's just something that you don't want to waste your time doing. So if you don't already have a VA or a cross-listing tool, I can only really recommend a VA because that's the only thing I have. So I will recommend Posture VA to you. And if you want to use my code, you can use the code that's on the screen right here, and you can sign up with it, and you'll get a discount and a free trial. And I'm sure you will really like it because I really do, and I find it to be very, very helpful. And the final thing that is killing your reselling business is having fakes or like replicas or anything like that in your closet. So it is actually illegal to sell these fakes and these replicas, but I see so many people that do it anyway just because I guess they don't realize or they don't know. And I just think it's, something that you should stop doing. And nobody wants to buy a fake. Nobody wants to be misled. And so if you're gonna go and sell something that you think could be replicated, and nowadays like pretty much every brand can be replicated, so if you're going to sell something that you think can be replicated, make sure that you do your research to make sure that it is not replicated, because it will really hurt if you actually end up selling a fake and then somebody can figure out that it's a fake. They could open a case on you, and you could get actually in trouble by doing this on Poshmark or any other platform because it's not legal on any platform. So I just highly recommend not doing it. I think on some platforms you may be able to just like specify that it's a fake or a replica, but Poshmark has like a strict policy that doesn't allow you to do this. So I just don't recommend doing it. And save yourself the hassle. Just don't do it, and it will go such a long way. So these are things that you should stop doing that are killing your reselling business, and definitely things that you should maybe do instead that are going to help you have more success. If you found this video helpful, definitely make sure that you like it, and again, make sure that you're subscribed because again, you really don't want to miss future reselling content that I do. If you want to see some secret features that you should be using on Poshmark that'll help you have a lot of success, you can click right here. And also, if you want to see how you can get consistent sales on Poshmark, you can click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.